What's up, people? WWE's back at you with my Hell in a Cell 2012 predictions and crazy outbursting predictions. I know this video will take a while, but I don't give a shit. If you think I give a shit, subscribe. Here are my notes. Well, let's get right into my predictions. I just went off of WWE.com and copied the matches. But the first one that's going to take me a while to talk about is Ryback versus Punk at Hell in a Cell. This has been a brewing rivalry, and if you have not watched WWE in the last 4 or 5 weeks, you are missing out on something very good. We're sick and tired of John Cena versus CM Punk. We're sick and tired of CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. And we're sick and tired of CM Punk versus Paul Heyman, and we're also sick and tired of CM Punk taking on Vince McMahon. So what does Vince McMahon do? He brings on Ryback versus Punk. This is going to be the last match, obviously. It's the only match inside the Hell in a Cell. I don't know why it would make this. I think this will obviously probably be the last Hell in a Cell match This is the last Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, not the last Hell in a Cell match. Because they don't really build everything around it. Alright, Ryback versus Punk. I'm going to have to go with Ryback on this one. He's going to pull out the win. But, all of a sudden, you're going to hear... Well, here was my thought at first. I honestly thought that the only reason why Paul Heyman was aligning with CM Punk is because of they're trying to brew up Paul Heyman versus Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk versus Ryback feud at Survivor Series. So what do? You bring Brock Lesnar, who's going to interfere, have an F5 on CM Punk. Wait, let's back up. First, you're gonna hear Goldberg music hit. Goldberg's gonna spear Punk, then Brock Lesnar's gonna F5 Ryback, then Goldberg's going to F5 Goldberg he's going to F5 Ryback. Goldberg's going to attack Brock Lesnar. They're go outside the ring. Ryback's already won the match. Then you're going to have Cena turn heel. Cena's going to turn heel, and what's going to happen is Cena's going to AA, attitude adjustment on Ryback. Dolph Ziggler's going to come in instead of cashing into the World Heavyweight Championship. He's going to cash it in, but first, before he cashes it in, it's going to be Ric Flair. You're going to hear Ric Flair's music hit, and then you're going to hear Dolph Ziggler's music hit. Figure 4 on Ryback, and then Dolph Ziggler's going to hit up the WWE Championship, and then we're going to go from there. And then at Survivor Series, you're gonna have this whole 6-man feud type of shit, except minus Paul Heyman because he won't wrestle. So that was my whole 3 minutes and almost 45 seconds. So now it's 45 seconds of the whole Ryback thing. Next up, we have the 20-second Easy Mac Divas match between Eve, Layla, and Caitlyn. I think the whole storyline they're doing with SmackDown with Booker T and Teddy Long is stupid. Although I do like how Oksana is jumping back with Teddy Long. I honestly think Eve will pull out the win. I don't think Caitlyn or Layla will obviously win the match. It just pushes that Divas division even farther. And Triple H is currently working on the tag team division, so it won't even matter who wins this match anyway. Here we have Sheamus versus The Big Show. I honestly thought, when I read back, when I was planning this video, that it was going to be Ziggler cashing in, but I just told you what about the Sheamus and Show thing. I think that Big Show will win this match. And that sets up a Show versus Sheamus thing again. I think people are so sick and tired of Sheamus versus Show, and I think people know that there's going to be an interference in that Hell in a Cell match. between Ryback and Punk, I think Ryback's going to win, but, you know, it's not really much of an undefeated streak, so at the point you're thinking, oh, we'll see a Punk win? Yeah, it's really tough. Everyone has been sick and tired of Sheamus having the World Championship. I don't ever see this being the best feud of the season. But I do see something starting to brew here. I honestly think that WWE will still keep it up, but I think that WWE will obviously have Show win the match, and then have Sheamus obviously do a bunch of that garbage. I think that people like to see Sheamus as a Show feud. I just don't think that they like seeing Sheamus as the world champion. If you disagree, comment below. Up next, well, not really up next as a match, I just copied off of WWE.com, World Wrestling Entertainment. Kofi Kingston versus The Miz, and this dates back to Monday Night Raw when Kofi Kingston nailed The Miz with a punch which caused The Miz to have 6 stitches. Then you had main event, Kingston beat The Miz, and then they're starting to brew this feud up. I honestly think that this is actually one of the best mid-carding feud ever since 2008 when they did that Chris Jericho and Rey Mysterio feud. I honestly think that Kingston will pull out the win. I don't think they're ready to pull Kingston off the Intercontinental title. I honestly think that Miz will get more heat because he lost. I don't see, or I could see having WWE do this, have the Miz win the title like about maybe 3 months later, but I mentioned that feud will be already dropped. I don't know, I could possibly see that happening. Up next, we have, well, not really up next, we have Team Hell No versus Team Rhodes Scholars. This is just a normal tag team match, not for the tag team titles. For those who thought it was for the tag team titles, read all the wrestling sites and read WWE.com, Wrestling Inc., PWInsider.com, PWTorch.com, whatever the fuck the websites are called. I honestly think that this will obviously just be a dominate match. I could see these being a back and forth match, but I never ever could picture Rhodes Scholars winning. Up next we have Randy Orton versus Alberto! I can't do it right now. Del Rio. Do it with SmackDown spoilers though. Alberto Del Rio will lose this match. I think Randy Orton will win this match after the different things or whatever. That's not gonna stay. Different things or whatever with the whole David Otunga. I think David Otunga will interfere, which causes Randy Orton to win. Two matches that were not added onto the card were Antonio Cesaro versus Justin Gabriel for the U.S. Championship. I gotta give kudos to WWE for finally doing something with Justin Gabriel. I mean, this could be a great feud for Justin Gabriel and Antonio Cesaro. I can see WWE possibly doing this as a whole different system. I thought this was going to be at least a 20-minute video. Turns out it's not going to be a 20-minute video. I thought everything else, but there's more to the whole Ryback and Punk thing that I want to talk about. Kudos to WWE for finally doing something with Justin Gabriel. Bonus features for Hell in a Cell. I honestly think we're going to get a surprise match. I think we're going to get a nice match between the tag teams. I think we're going to get Usos versus Tyson, Sin Cara, and Rey Mysterio. I also think we're going to have Evan Bourne return with Tyson Kidd. Yes, for those of you, I didn't make a video on it because I didn't think it was so important. I could kind of wrap up my videos a little bit here. But I honestly think that there's going to be some type of brewing. But again, at WrestleMania 29, they wanted to have Rey Mysterio versus Sin Cara with Rey Mysterio turning heel. But plans can change now and then. I honestly think that WWE could do something with this whole situation with Sin Cara, but they did not list that. WWE listed the spoilers for WrestleMania 29. You can go check it out. I just made it a couple days ago. I made it on Saturday, so it wasn't that bad. So today's Sunday, so you can check that back out. You don't really need to browse through my videos quite a bit. But really, I think that tonight's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view will be great. Now back to the Ryback and Punk. You know, there's so many speculations, and they've made this for months and months and months, and they've made this a teaser and a teaser, and people just thought it was going to be a teaser. But I honestly think that Ryback's going to win and Ziggler's going to get the opposite. But I think Goldberg is going to return after they sign his Legends deal. They just can't wrap it back in. But there's a time and place where you could have Ryback versus Punk versus Goldberg versus The Rock. There was a couple, because of Ken, they wanted to keep the title, but plans changed. WWE doesn't tell you everything, you know, wrestling sites do not have somebody always backstage and always stalking the creative team, or that could be weird. It'd be pretty cool, though, giving all the spoilers and all the informations. But mostly what they do is they usually stand in the crowd and interview some creative teams after the show or whatever. It's basically, I've done it before. Yeah, so that's basically Hell in a Cell. I think it'll be a fucking awesome pay-per-view. If you don't believe me, get your money back. If you're not ordering the pay-per-view, screw you. That sucks to be you, because this is going to be a great pay-per-view. It's worth the $50, really. I think that this will be what a hell of a pay-per-view. Get it? Hell in a Cell. Hell of a pay-per-view. Team Hell. But what a waste. I actually hate that pay-per-view, swapping it back and forth. So yeah, that's Hell in a Cell predictions and 5 crazy possible outcomes. Well, not really 5 possible outcomes, just my predictions. And sorry, it's very, very late, my predictions, although I did make a preview a while back. You can check that out as well. You're just gonna have to browse through videos, or you can search at the search bar, Hell in a Cell Preview 2012. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe so I can feed you more WWE updates and WWE news as soon as they happen. Subscribe.